Hi everyone! Today I thought I would share a technique I've been doing with our decorative masks and bleach. So the patterned party decorative masks come in a collection of 4, and you get this fun medallion, sort of a subway tile or brick wall pattern. This fun little diamond pattern, looks maybe like a lattice. And these clouds, and they all come together in the little collection of masks. And you can do all kinds of different things with these, such as sponging with ink or using our embossing paste, but I thought it would be fun to do a little bleaching, and I thought I would share what that looks like. So on both of these cards you can see that the color, typically when you think of bleach, you think of something turning white, but because of the different dyes that are involved in the papers, you're going to get a different color depending upon the background that you've got, the paper that's in there, and the dyes and the colors that are inside that paper. So on this one, which is Tranquil Tide, you get this kind of, it looks almost like the lemon lime twist, don't you think? But it's just bleach. And in here on this one you get a softer ivory look for the clouds. And so it just kind of depends on what happens with the paper. So you might want to test out your cardstock first before you start your project on a little scrap. And we're going to make this card together, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I used this pretty little lattice mask and some bleach. I have a funny story. I went to the store to buy some bleach because I realized I was out, and I just grabbed the least expensive bleach that there is, and it was on sale, and I got home and I bleached on black cardstock, and I let it dry for a second. I'm noticing nothing's happening. I expected a immediate reaction. And how did I not know that there's color safe bleach? I don't know. I just don't use bleach a lot. I couldn't believe that the color did not change. It was amazing. And I thought, what is going on here? So I had to stare at the bottle, and sure enough it says color safe on it. So that was silly. I had to go back to the store and buy another bottle of bleach. Luckily I buy the smaller ones. And this time I saw something that said splashless, which means that it's a little thicker. When I got home I realized it's not as runny. It's not, you know, gloppy like Jello or anything, but it's just a little thicker, and actually that worked nicely on the masks because it didn't run so much. It is going to run. See how it's liquid, so it's going to run underneath that mask, but it didn't quickly run and just turn into a big blob of lemon lime on the background. You could still see a little bit of the pattern through it, and it was really kind of fun. So then I thought, all right, I like this splashless one. It worked out nicely on these clouds too. You still have some definition. So let's go ahead and bleach this piece here. It's Tranquil Tide, and I just put a little bit of bleach in this little Thai food tray from my dinner, and I use the Stampin' sponges. They come in a pack of 3 like this, and I cut them up. So I cut them in half, and then I cut the half depending upon what I'm doing. If I'm using them for ink, I usually cut them into thirds. But for this I'm going to cut it in half just because I want even more of a surface, and I want my fingers to touch it even less. So this is a 1/4 of a sponge, so I can get 4 Technique sponges out of one of these, and then I can get 6 color sponges. Like, see how smaller it is? This is from my lemon lime twist color. You've got this one, and it's really nice. You can get a lot from just a pack of sponges. Oh, and if you're interested in this little holder that I've made, it is our tab punch. It looks like this, and you just punch it out. In fact, I could use a new orange, so I'm going to use this scrap here. Punch that out, and you just simply fold it in half and you put it around your sponge. This one, I'm not going to staple it because I want to cut this again, but you're going to staple it right like that, and then you've got a nice place to hold on to, so your fingers are not going to get inky or bleachy in this case. Alright, so let's go ahead and start bleaching. So what I did here, make it nice and straight. I love using my grid paper because it's nice to line things up nice and straight. And you can purchase this grid paper under Stamping Tools at the Stampin Up website. You don't have to be a demonstrator to have the grid paper. It's a really great thing to have on your desk. So I'm just going to blot up some of the bleach. I'm just going to start in the top and just kind of randomly go down. And how much you want to do is completely up to you. You can see it's starting to turn a little limey. And I'm going to let that sit. And while I let that sit, I thought I would use a few scraps just to show you how different colors can turn different tones. Like here, this is, let's see what happens to that one. Here I've got some Fresh Fig and some Night of Navy. And we'll see what happens to that one. So this one gets a little yellowy. And I can see using that on some fun fall cards, really pretty. It might even be fun as a background to just do some swipes, kind of like a paint smear, and see what happens there. And that would be a really fun background on a card. Just a little swipe of bleach. See how fun that is? And stamp on that. Okay, let's take off our decorative mask. There you go. So this one's a little more smeary. It's going to get even whiter and yellower as it dries. It's a fun little background. Now when you're using the bleach, you do want to clean these right away. It does say on bleach containers to not use them on acetate. I'm not sure what this is made out of, but it's probably something like an acetate. And so you want to rinse this off really good, and you want to rinse off your sponge. If you just let the bleach sit on this sponge overnight, you'd come home, you'd come back to your desk and you'd see a little crater out of your sponge. It wouldn't last very long. So if you rinse it out, it's perfectly good, and then be sure to clean your mask really well. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to rinse it off, and then we're going to put this card together. Okay, I've cleaned off my little products here so they can live to stamp another day. And let's go ahead and put this card together. Here's how these are drying. You're going to get a different little dramatic effect from each one. I really like the way this one turns to that lemon lime. I think it's really fun. And here, look at that on the pumpkin pie. That looks really good too. Okay, so let's put this together. This is drying, almost dry, and I'm going to put it onto a base of Tranquil Tide. And then I've punched out already a few little things already finished. I wanted to have them done ahead of time since I wanted the video to focus on the bleaching and not so much the stamping, because you know how to do this. This is a new stamp. It is from the Love What You Do stamp set. It's right here. I'm lucky to have a friend like you. That's a really nice stamp, and it's a beautiful stamp set. However, I did not use the rest of the stamp. I just used that one because I liked the pieces from this Oh So Eclectic stamp set. I liked the flowers, but I thought the sentiments were a little small for what I needed, so that's why I combined my sets. It's nice to have the options of combining so many sets work so beautifully together. Here is the Eclectic Layers Thinlits. And you've got a whole bunch of different dies that cut out the stamps in here, and I love how these work together. I thought I would point a few out. This floral stamp is right here, and you can cut it out with this die all together in one piece, or you can layer it with this inside piece, and then you get something like this. So you can have just an outline or the beautifully detailed inside as well. And the same thing goes for this one. You can cut out this really pretty flower, as I have done here, or you can layer it with this little inside piece and get this really pretty outline stem. So I think this is a really fun die set just for this reason. And then it also has this really fun leaf. Great for layering when you're trying to get that little cluster of embellishments. It's a really great one for that. Here's another one of those leaves. So I just cut out a bunch of things here, and we're going to layer and have fun with just playing them all together on the background of our card. So I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on the back to give it a little pop. And then I'm just going to start layering. I like to add a little bit of ribbon for a different soft texture. I'm using some lemon lime twist because I thought it looked so fun with this bleached effect. I usually just layer it by putting a little strip. And then I'm going to add my sentiment. I think I'm going to use this white one. Now I'm keeping my dimensionals to the center so I have some space around because I want to tuck some of these little accents behind. So I can just pick these up and just kind of see what I want to layer where. Like maybe I want some gold. Maybe I want this one. I think I would like one of these little frame onlys. You can cut this in half and use it on 2 cards. I think I'm going to do that. This is just going to kind of come out from the top there. I think I like that. Let's start putting it down. I don't know if I need anything else. I think I might stop there and use these on another card. Another fun thing to do is add a little accent of shimmer, and I've got a few of these on my desk because they are retiring and I've been using them up, and so I'm going to add a few of these little drops to my background. I can add some of this color or just stick with the, I'm going to stick with the greenish ones. Maybe one more. Let's go with a bigger one. Okay, so I've got some little droplets on there and I am all done. And there is your bleached background card. I hope you'll give bleaching a try. Be sure to clean your products right when you're done so that they don't get ruined. And also, if you're going to do this at a stamp camp, make sure you let your participants know that they're going to be using bleach so that they can wear some clothes that they may not care about, just in case there's a spill, although I didn't have any problems when I was using it at home. So thanks so much for watching. Here's my little piggy one. I like the clouds on this. It's just such a fun little background. You might want to also try watercoloring with the masks. This is a sponge and watercolor. All I did was wet the paper down and sponged on top of wet paper. And then I gave it a little spritz of water before removing the mask. So there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll watch some more videos and let me know what you think. Bye-bye.